What is going on, Colts Nation? Here's Jamal and I'm Merrick, your co-host of the Colts Cast.
Yo, yo, yo.
Hey, the Indianapolis Colts took down the Arizona Cardinals in Week 2's preseason clash, 21-13. So we're in the win column. It was the first win in the preseason for the Colts, and that was with the majority of our starters resting. This, however, got us to take a deeper look at the guys who are either trying to work their way up the depth charts or just make the 53-man roster. Jamal, you were at the game, of course. My man about to hit every home game this year. Where are we starting today?
First, we're going to start by everybody just hitting that like and subscribe button for us. Let us know you're here. Drop a comment below. And, actually, Eric, I had a couple people I've talked to over this past couple of days tell me that they have not been notifications for our videos. So just make sure you hit that bell. Hit the bell so it'll give you it'll get you. People are like, it's popping up on my home screen, but I know you're dropping the video. No. Hit that bell.
Yeah.
Hit the bell so you know it's
That
coming
bell.
through. Yeah, it makes all the
Gotta
difference.
be subscribed.
So,
Yeah. It makes it easy.
Way
It's
easy.
all automated. Yeah, Jamal, we got to make sure that happens.
For sure. So that's what I want to start off with. But Eric, as far as it goes for the game, great game as well. The atmosphere is always fun, especially when you get a chance to be out there at night. But I guess what I want to ask you, Eric, is do we want to start off with the good, the bad? I mean, how do you want to take this today?
Look,
I think
they say the good, the bad, and ugly. So the good comes first. So we always got to talk.
All right.
Yeah, we got to start from the good.
Let's do it. So first thing I want to talk about then is from the defense side of the ball. Nick Cross. He came
I already
out.
told you. Putting on a vintage performance. Justin Simmons, talk to him.
Hey, listen, Nick Cross was out there doing his thing all over the field, making back-to-back plays, tackling for a loss, not afraid to take the one-on-ones. This is what we needed to see from Nick Cross. All right, I know there's a lot of animosity around him from all the stuff that happened with Josh Downs. Again, these things happen. That's the last thing we want to see happen. But Nick has something to prove. He wants a spot. He want to make sure he can seal up that spot. And yesterday, he made the case a little harder for you to not give it to him because he was out there doing his thing. And I really like the way he just approached every single play, hard-nosed, was not afraid to step in front of anybody who caught that ball to go make a play on them. That's what we need to see from somebody like that.
Yeah, he played a lot of strong safety yesterday, from what I could see. So moving Blackman back to free safety, call it a day, man. Got our safety starting spots on lock. If we're not going to sign high dollar talent like Justice Simmons or Quandre Diggs, then it's time to put these guys in a position to succeed and just continue developing them. And that starts with Nick Cross. So if he fits better as a strong safety, which I think he does, I always thought Cross kind of fit that mold of strong safety best. But what do I know? Same with Blackman. Like I always thought he was a free safety with his ability to cover receivers and make plays on the ball. But look, it feels like every preseason we see Nick Cross show up, show out, and this needs to translate to the regular season. And I feel like we say it every year, but I feel like this is the year for Nick Cross, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's probably grown a little bit. He looked really serious out there from the time he stepped on the field during pregame to the time where the game started. So hopefully that transitions onto the field for the regular season.
Gus Bradley's blitzing, so I don't know what's going on. Yeah, the real Gus Bradley, please stand up. I think he got kidnapped. Where am I? Because I don't know. Is he experimenting? Is he just playing around, throwing stuff, in the preseason?
Yeah.
Interesting stuff. So I'd like to see what really happens in the regular season because, his lack of blitzing was always a criticism. I don't think you have to blitz, every drive to be a successful defensive coordinator, but throwing things in the mix, mixing things up, confusing offenses. I mean, that's how modern defenses work. That's so I want to see what happens. But I saw that. I was like, nah, that ain't Gus Bradley out there.
Yeah, he was trying to get the fans excited. That's all that was. I doubt we'll see that when the season comes. We'll see though.
Yeah. Continuing on with defense, Juju Brents, he was on the field a lot yesterday. Someone's going to have to explain that to me. I guess because he didn't play week 1.
He got to get reps. Yeah, he's got to be. He has to be out there.
So, sophomore year. I guess that makes sense. His nose is apparently fine. Not too worried about that. But he really just needs to go a few weeks without catching some type of injury because he's technically our CB1 on the outside. So it's like we say it all the time. Availability is the best ability. And if you're not there, like you can't play. It just, especially in this secondary, that this cornerback group in particular is lacking in immense talent. So I need Juju Brents to step up this year and stay healthy, but also take that next step in the right direction. So that's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have said any better. I know it was just a nose injury, like you said, but when I saw him go to the blue tent, I said, "Oh, here we go." I couldn't tell what it was, obviously, just being at the game because I didn't report on it. But I just saw the tent, and I saw Juju, and I said, "This is we're back at square one." So I'm obviously not glad he injured his nose, but I'm glad it's his nose and not a part of his body that's going to affect his game. Come tomorrow. But again, a couple weeks without seeing him in there would be phenomenal. That's what I would really like to see. But someone else who stepped up, or I shouldn't even say stepped up, but had a really solid game. This guy's actually a starter, but of course he doesn't have a lot of packages with him on the field. Alubi,
Happened
this
to my camera. Keep going though.
Oh yeah. Keep doing your thing. Alubi, he had a great game. I believe he posted 9 total tackles, three tackles solo, but at that linebacker spot was just all over the place on special teams as well. And it's funny, Eric, because I was very fortunate to have those sideline passes pregame. This dude was out there with the meanest warm up ever. I was checking my watch like 3 times, like, man, he's still doing individual warm ups
Hungry.
for 30 minutes. And I see why.
Starving.
I starving because he came out there and was balling. And I love to see that. I'm excited to see that we have that third linebacker who can get out there on the field and ain't afraid to make another play. So defense side of the ball right there as well. Great to see. And I want to see him on the field come regular season.
Yeah, I really thought the defense stepped it up this game. Really, in particular, defensive line. We saw out of Tom Adebawore. I mean, he's exhibit A of drafting a guy with superb athleticism and explosiveness. But he might not be a day one impact, which he wasn't, but we're developing him into that NFL player, that rotational guy, potentially a starter year after year. So he's probably one of the most improved players so far since last year. And I'm happy to see this defensive line continuing to get stronger. So not just being top heavy, but something where, if someone were unfortunately to go down, we got this guy next man up to step in. Isaiah Land too. Shout out to Isaiah Land. Had a pretty good showing as well. So again, this defensive line, this defense in general, I felt like looked pretty solid. Like,
oh yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them for real. You want to get on the offense side of the ball real quick?
Yeah, I didn't have any bad with the defense. So what's the good with the offense?
The good with the offense is, man, I'm excited for this. Tyler Goodson and Evan Hull race for that RB3. It does suck that one of them isn't going to get it, and one, may unfortunately have to get the boot. Hopefully, kick them on practice squad or whatever. But it's exciting to see both these guys out there because both of them are hungry. Both of them are deserving of that spot. They should both get it, but patience, man. I don't know, Eric, if y'all saw this, but when Goodson hit that little patient stutter step and got that touchdown in the first quarter, that's what it's all about. Like that's a running back who understood that he needed to watch the play develop. The offensive line did their job, and he watched to see where his gap was because he wanted to go through the A gap at first. He saw it wasn't there. He bounced out tiptoe to the C gap, or I guess further than that. He went off the edge, and there was just no one there. That's the excitement. You can't teach that. Exactly. That's what I want to see. But at the same time, you see someone like Evan Hull get in there, who we know unfortunately he had that season injury last year, but we know when he steps in the field, he's great. I mean, we saw Dalton Tucker with a mean textbook pull block for Evan Hull, and what did Evan do? He recognized that, took that thing straight up the gut, and was able to get 10, 15-yard gain. So both these guys have great vision, and again, it's such an exciting thing to see both these guys working for that RB3 spot, because that just means our depth is there. Of course, we don't want anything to happen to JT, but the depth is there, and both these guys, they deserve a spot. So,
yeah, I mean, the real question is, was it Gardner Minshew's fault or was it Tyler Goodson's fault last year at the last play to end the regular season? So that will forever be ingrained into Colts fans' minds, and they might hold that against Goodson. But mistakes happen. There's human error. So I agree, Jamal. I like what we saw from just our run game in general. I think even Xavier Scott was looking good on a couple of carries, but like very efficient running from what I saw. Hopefully that continues to the regular season because we like to, we got to build our run game up so we can open the passing game up. Shane Steichen said it best. So I like the run game. I like Laquan Treadwell. He wide receiver 1.
7. Come on, yeah.
That's wide receiver 1. All right, but he could battle for a roster spot potentially. Let's talk.
Hey, I just want to say real quick.
Let's talk about
before we get to that part that you want to. Just want to say real quick that Goodson, he got the same pass from Joe Flacco, and Flacco hit him in stride last week, and he caught the ball and made it upfield. I just want to say that. So
I think it was on Minshew. So if we're talking about that one play, yes, Goodson could have made a play on the ball, but that was a hard catch to make. Minshew puts in the right spot where it starts with the quarterback right there.
Yeah, but anyway, I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Cut Blake Freeland. Come on.
He had a couple of good blocks out there. He had a couple good blocks.
I mean, dog.
A couple good ones.
Did he though? Whenever we ever gotten on this show and been like, Blake Freeland just had a great snap. I mean, phenomenal game. I get it. He's a rookie last year, but defenders are just freely beating him off the edge. I just can't remember a time where like Blake Freeland blew me away. I just haven't seen any type of progression. And this is the preseason he's struggling. Like, we are in the preseason. He struggled every preseason game so far. We've seen nothing. I mean, look, I'm done.
He's done talking about. Listen, for all the people who like Blake as well, I'll tell you this. I saw some good snaps out of him yesterday. They weren't all great, but there were a couple out there that did look good. I said, wow, that's a good fitting, good steps.
You were intoxicated.
There were few and far in between, but there were a couple. But majority of them, you're 100% right. Yeah, we got to do something about that. I mean, at this point, if you're getting dog walked by anybody who steps in front of you, that's an issue. That's a big issue. It's a big guy, and I understand you have a lot of ground to cover, but I mean, at some point you got to figure it out. This is year 2 in the league. You got Tony Sparano as your coach. You got all these other vets around you. There's no excuse for
Braden Smith playing 17 games this year.
Yeah.
17 games plus because we're gonna make the playoffs. So he is not gonna get hurt. We are good. He doesn't even need a breather. Put somebody else in. Hey, we talked about injuries. We talked about Juju Brents getting that nose injury.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Jelani's injury.
This your boy. This the one you stood on.
Here's what I'm gonna say, man. At this point, at this point,
is he gonna make the roster?
I mean, I think they're gonna give him a roster spot just because.
How?
But I don't know.
So we're gonna carry 5 tight ends because we already have Mo Cox, Kylan Granson, Drew Ogletree's back, Will Mallory. I mean, do we cut Will Mallory? Give it to Woods? Like, what's going on? Because this is your guy, just had another toe injury, can't stay on the field. Availability is the best ability. I mean, this is something that has to be monitored closely when it comes to cut time because I don't know what your boy doing.
You keep saying my boy. I guess I'm not picking up what you're putting down.
But you got Jelani Woods jersey in your closet. What you talking about?
Don't do that. Nah, Jelani, listen, man. I don't really know. I don't know what to say. Steichen has some decisions to make. Ballard has some decisions to make. I don't know what the conversation is going to be. But yeah, at some point you have to be legitimately concerned. I mean, we have a lot of people on our team we should be legitimately concerned about injuries wise. But Jelani's another one where as soon as you get back from a double hamstring injury, now we're talking about a toe injury. We don't know what the timeline is or anything like that. That's scary. And especially in a stacked room like we have. We have other weapons out there. Do we need somebody 6'7" on the field who can be a red zone threat? Sure. But when we have Granson, Mallory, Cox, all these other people, like you said, Eric, I mean, at this point, we gotta have that harsh reality conversation. I honestly don't know if it's gonna happen, but it probably should happen. Somebody needs to have strikes and fear in there, because if you don't have the fear, then you have no need to get better. I'll leave it at that.
Look, this is a crowded position group.
Mm-hmm.
we like Jelani Woods coming into this year, but this was on the notion that he's fine and healthy now. Like, stuff we saw in training camp, he looked like he was. I just this just sucks for him, but at some point, when are we like, all right, got to move on? Like Blake Freeland, got to move on. Like at what point are we like, okay, time to cut our losses?
Yeah.
Tired of holding these bags.
I will say, I think Steichen is probably the best person in the organization right now for us to make some of these calls, because I feel like in the past we've let people just linger around because it's well, we feel bad for the guy, whatever the case is.
Frank
But
Wright.
Steichen's more of a Steichen's more of we saw what he did with 2 players last year. He cut 2 start. What I mean, so there's nothing for him. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. What?
Yeah.
But so do we have a conversation about the next guy you want to talk about? I'm assuming.
Man, this is getting doom and gloom. This is like a doom and gloom episode. Like,
Steichen said he's not worried about it.
What you
So
talking about?
I'm worried about it. I'm worried about.
Talk to us. What
I'm
are we
worried
talking
about spending all this money on a kicker, and they still missing preseason snaps. And I understand you had a different holder today or last night. I understand that. I'm not knocking that, because I'm not a placeholder. I don't know that I don't know how much it changes your game when a placeholder is there. However, when you're getting paid all this bread, preseason game, there's nothing on the line. You're in a dome. There are no elements. They had the window open. Ooh, there was no draft coming into that. I can't see you shanking stuff left multiple times. I mean, this is 3 in a row.
Talk to
3
him.
kicks. You're getting paid a lot of money to come out here and do that.
Yeah.
And it kind of pisses me off because, I'm the biggest Ballard critique out there. And I said when we made this signing, I'm like, oh, we're paying a kicker this much money when we have other things that should be addressed. And we're like, yeah, we got the best kicker. So
fix the problem.
Come on. Like, you got to be kidding me.
Look.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
The Matt Gay situation. Here we go. He talked about, he didn't have the typical holder in Rigoberto Sanchez, but like, just hit the field goal. You'll just hit it. Stop making excuses. You are one of the highest paid kickers in the league. You shanked the last 10 kicks. Like, we cannot just keep blaming. Like, he needs to take it upon himself and be like, look, I'm fucking up.
It's just that simple.
I mean, we could be completely off base here, but it's preseason and we should be concerned at this point. I mean, 3 in a row. At least he made his extra points, but like, they're all going to the left. Something ain't right. You're slicing in golf and it's going to the right every single time. There's an issue. Like, you got to correct it. And I'm not going to put it on the placeholder on every single kick. So something ain't right there. Never pay kickers again. Lesson learned. Just you got we got to punt on kickers, essentially. We got to do a dart throw, because like, unless you're getting like a Justin Tucker out of Ventura, I don't know. It just, why pay kickers at this point? I mean, Harrison Butker just got a huge extension. I think he's the highest paid kicker in the league, and we'll see how that works out. But he's been working out for the Chiefs, so
yeah. He doesn't have to kick field goals, though. He only has 6 extra points his entire career.
That is true.
So, I mean, it's easy to pay somebody like him.
So he's sitting icy with a nice paycheck, playing under Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. But no, this is another situation to monitor, because what if he starts doing this in the regular season? Because what did we do with Rodrigo Blankenship after week 2, week 3? He was gone, and I mean, I think Gay's guaranteed probably like 75% of that money. So like, what do you do here? I don't even want to talk about it. Like, we're putting too much time into the kicking situation. Let's talk about Anthony Richardson in all white. That man was iced out.
Yeah, he was iced out in the all white. I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah. So a lot of good, and there was some bad. I think we overemphasized the bad, but it's preseason. I don't know. There's just a lot to talk about that I would say, Jamal, other Colts content creators are probably not talking about. We just keep it real. We keep it a buck.
100.
Not going to sugarcoat it. It's just how we feel, and we want to know how you guys feel about our comments. So, drop us a comment if you're on YouTube. If you're on audio, once you find a stopping point, go on YouTube, make an account, drop that comment. We'd love to hear from you. We've seen a lot of new listeners lately, and it's been awesome. We'd love to grow our channel. Of course, we're trying to hit that 2,000 subscribers. Jamal, that's all I got.
Hey, that's all I got as well, y'all. Like Eric said, hit that like subscribe button. Appreciate y'all dropping my listening as always. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, any other platform you listen to podcasts. Hey, we're gonna come back with that content for you next week. But until then, y'all take care. Enjoy the weekend. Go Colts. Let's get ready.
Hey, that's going to be it for us. Live on every podcasting platform. Go on YouTube. Like I said, we'll be back next time to give you some more Indianapolis Colts content.
Take it easy.